Breaking news, JustinBaldoni just got a big win, meaning BlakeLively got a big loss.
Also, the judge in BlakeLively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request.
I mean, I gotta ask, are her lawyers dumb? Like, what's happening? Why do they keep making these mistakes and fumbling the ball like this?
JustinBaldoni just won his third big court battle, and BlakeLively is in complete panic mode. So, what happened in court this time? And why is she rushing to fix the damage? This time, she tried to get permission to see Justin's private phone records, including his messages and calls, hoping to find something against him. But the judge completely shut it down. In a huge win for Justin's team, the court ruled that Blake's request was too invasive and not needed. Now, reality is hitting her, and the fear is starting to show as she scrambles for a new plan.
Team Blake was trying to basically ask for like 2.5 years worth of cell phone records, everything, location, all this data. Listen, it's ridiculous that you're asking for all this stuff because you're asking for 2.5 years, but you claim the retaliation started in August of this summer. So why on earth would you need all that time?
Blake and her legal team believed they had the perfect plan. Dig into Justin's phone records, emails, and private messages to prove he was behind some massive attack against her. They even sent legal demands to major phone carriers like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, insisting on years' worth of his call and text history. But their plan completely backfired. The judge saw right through it and shut it down. He ruled that Blake's request was nothing more than a desperate attempt to find dirt, whether it was real or not. The court called it an invasion of privacy and denied it outright.
Yes, Baldoni, you're right. We have squashed the subpoena. The reach was too big, and therefore they agreed that the ruling, they squashed the extent to seek the phone records of Wayfair. The ruling is without prejudice. Live parties, several modified subpoena.
This decision is a major victory for Justin, who has been working hard to defend himself. But for Blake, it's another embarrassing defeat in court, and her case is falling apart piece by piece. U.S. District Judge Louis Lehman didn't mince words in his ruling. He made it clear that Blake had no valid reason to demand Justin's phone records. In a detailed 6-page decision, the judge explained that even without reading messages, phone records can still expose private details, like conversations with doctors, therapists, or close friends. He ruled that Blake's request was too broad and completely unjustified.
The court said that could include therapists, doctors, friends, colleagues, business people. It's way too broad. And so what he did is he sent him back to the drawing board and said, you got to go meet and confer again. You could serve a more narrowly tailored subpoena, but you haven't done it here.
To put it simply, Blake's desperate search for evidence has officially ended. Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, wasted no time celebrating this major win. In his statement, he made it clear that the court had shut down Blake's outrageous attempt to dig into Justin's private information. He called it a big victory, and pointed out that her accusations continue to fall apart. And honestly, he's right. This marks Justin's third big courtroom win, and with each one, Blake's case looks weaker. But instead of admitting defeat, her team is now trying a new tactic, questioning why Justin refuses to hand over his records.
I think what's going on is they're trying to see how far they can go with this judge and how much he will cap them. I think, Andy, you brought up a good point earlier, which is that you don't know what's out there, right? You don't know what the universe of information that's out there. So you're going to go ahead and try to cast a wide net at the beginning. And sometimes you get a judge who says, I'm going to let you cast a very wide net, never as wide as they ask for, which is everybody, but they're going to let you cast a wide net. So I think they were hoping that maybe this judge was going to be somebody who would give them broad latitude, and maybe they were testing the boundaries.
Blake's team quickly fired back, questioning what Brian Friedman might be hiding. They pointed out that he promised to reveal all the evidence, but then fought to keep Justin's phone records private. According to them, those records could show who Justin and his team contacted during the alleged retaliation campaign. They argued that if Justin's side feels justified in demanding years of Blake's personal records, why shouldn't they have access to his call history? Blake's spokesperson explained that while the judge blocked their original request to get the records from phone companies, he did allow them to refile with more specific demands. They wasted no time. They're now sending those requests directly to the defendants and expect to finally see those records soon. Blake clearly isn't giving up. She knows she needs something solid to strengthen her case. And when the judge shut down her attempt to access Justin's phone logs, she made another move, hiring former CIA Deputy Chief of Staff Nick Shapiro to handle her PR crisis. It's obvious that time is running out, and she's scrambling to find anything she can use against Justin to convince both the court and the public that she's in the right.
She's quietly working with Nick Shapiro, the CIA's former Deputy Chief of Staff and Senior Advisor to former Director John Brennan. So this guy, high up, just about as high up as you could possibly get if he is the Deputy Chief of Staff.
Can Nick Shapiro turn things around for BlakeLively? He's not just another Hollywood publicist. He's a top crisis manager who has handled scandals for high-profile government officials and famous celebrities. His job is to control the damage, shape public perception, and steer his clients away from controversy. Blake bringing him in at this stage says a lot. It shows she knows she's in deep trouble and is desperate to change the narrative. The pressure is mounting, and instead of letting the case play out in court, she's turning to PR tactics to save her reputation before it completely crumbles.
And that, my friends, is exactly why BlakeLively and Ryan Reynolds have hired him, because he has proven that he is willing to lie without flinching, that he will straight up lie to protect his clients, he will lie to gaslight the public, and he has proven successful under that model.
The ironic part is that bringing in Nick Shapiro might actually be making things worse for BlakeLively. Instead of helping her case, it's raising even more questions. People aren't blind. They know his past isn't exactly spotless. His history suggests he may not always play fair, and that's not a good look for someone already facing credibility issues. By hiring him, Blake is basically telling the public she needs someone skilled in handling scandals, not proving the truth. Instead of clearing her name, it looks like she's trying to control the story, which only makes her seem more desperate.
I want to talk about this so we all understand sort of the rights, because clearly Justin's team is going to be out there trying to subpoena Taylor Swift, right? And everybody else that's involved in this case.
Taylor Swift, once BlakeLively's closest friend, is now caught in the legal drama. Sources say JustinBaldoni's team is compiling a witness list, and Taylor's name keeps appearing. Since she was close to Blake, she may have information that could impact the case. If subpoenaed, she might have to testify, revealing private conversations or hidden truths. Fans have noticed Taylor's silence. Unlike before, she hasn't publicly supported Blake. Is she distancing herself or just waiting? If she's forced to speak, it could change everything. This case is already messy, and Taylor's involvement could make it even worse for Blake.
You are going to depose BlakeLively, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, who else?
You know, anyone that reasonably has information that can be, you know, that can provide evidence in this case is going to be deposed. I mean,
That's Taylor
sure.
Swift. She was there for that meeting.
She was there for that meeting.
Okay, well, I'm a lawyer. I know what that means.
Taylor Swift has always shown support for BlakeLively, standing by her side publicly. Some believe she may have even helped fund Blake's legal battle in secret. Now JustinBaldoni's lawyers could claim that Taylor had a hand in influencing the public's opinion against him. Legal experts suggest that it wouldn't be surprising if she were asked to provide records of her conversations, emails, or even testify about what she knew and when she found out. If Taylor is subpoenaed, it could expose private details and shift the entire case. Her involvement might create even more problems for Blake. The big question is, will Taylor Swift fight against being involved? Insiders believe she absolutely will. Taylor has always kept her legal issues private, and she won't want to be dragged into this mess. However, if the court considers her a key witness, she may not have a choice. Meanwhile, BlakeLively's latest courtroom loss has caught major attention. Well-known outlets like The Hollywood Reporter and Variety have covered the case, raising questions about whether Blake has any real arguments left. The Hollywood Reporter even ran a story portraying Blake as desperate, grasping at straws to why. Stay in the fight. Blake's team fired back, calling the article sexist and offensive, arguing that it represents exactly why many women fear speaking out. On the other hand, JustinBaldoni has remained mostly silent, letting his legal team handle everything. He has already gathered all the evidence he needs, but he recently admitted that this lawsuit has taken a serious toll on him. He has struggled with stress and anxiety throughout the case, and his lawyer revealed that the fight has drained him both financially and emotionally. His career has also suffered, with sources claiming he lost 3 major projects worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Blake's team argues that her career has also been impacted. They claim she lost a chance to host Saturday Night Live because of the controversy. At this point, it's clear this lawsuit is more than just a legal fight, it's damaging both their careers. With 3 major losses in a row, things are not looking good for Blake. If she keeps pushing forward, she may not just lose the case, she could ruin her entire reputation. Hollywood is watching closely, and we'll be here to bring you every update as this drama continues. Stay tuned.